Hello and welcome to Big Friendly Grub. I hope you're well. And before we get started, check out my fancy new apron, which I got from my wonderful friends, Lucy, Kelly and Jen. They got it for me for my birthday and it's got my logo on it and it's going to stop me making a mess all over myself. They're so amazing. They got this for me. It was a complete surprise and I love it so much. You should go check out their stuff at theblossomtwins.com. They blog about food and writing and all things wonderful, and they are absolutely brilliant. And you should just go check their stuff out. They're also on Twitter and Instagram. And I also made a recipe of theirs on one of my videos a while back, which was their torta caprese, so you should go check that out as well. Now, I know why you're here. You've seen the video title. You're wondering, what the heck is that about? And I don't blame you. Yep, I'm going to be making a Spam and Oreo burger today. What? Yeah, so in China, for a limited while, at their McDonald's chains, they had a Spam and Oreo burger. And when I heard about it, I thought, what? What? Spam? Spam, 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 Look, stop that. Thank you. Yeah, a Spam and Oreo burger. What's that about? Look, I said, will you pack it in? Thank you. Yeah, so when I saw it, I thought, I have to try that. It's so weird. I've got to give it a go. But it might just work, because personally, I'm not a huge fan of Oreos by themselves. I think they're a bit of a naff biscuit, to be honest. They've got kind of a bit of a burnt flavour to them. But that burnt flavour might actually work in a savoury context, so that's why I want to give it a go. It's so crazy, it might work. And if it does work, I want to try and take it up a notch and see what we can do with it. So, first things first, I'm going to try and make the Spam and Oreo burger. It looks pretty simple. It's just a couple of bits of Spam fried with crumbled Oreo on top and mayonnaise in a burger bun. It's pretty simple. Let's give it a go and then we can see how we can take it up a notch. Don't know what that was, but let's roll with it anyway. Okay, first things first, I think it's only fair that we start with our Spam. Now, if you don't know what Spam is, well, it's just basically tinned pork and ham, as it says on the tin. Chopped pork and ham. It gets a bit of a bad rap. For some reason, lots of people don't like it. It's on the salty side, but other than that, all it is just chopped pork and ham. Maybe it's because it looks a bit gross coming out the tin, but personally, I think it's perfectly good. It's very nice when fried, and I enjoy Spam and eggs. Spam sandwich with egg, Spam sandwich with cheese, much like here. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I'm very, very curious as to how it's going to work in burger. So let's get it out the tin. Yeah, I admit it's not the most appealing thing when you first open it. Got to give it a good squeeze to get it out the tin. Right, here it is. It's our block of Spam. And yeah, no, it doesn't look very appealing. It's just a gelatinous block of ham and pork. But let's see if we can change the perception of it today by putting it with Oreos. So from the pictures I've seen of the Spam and Oreo burger, it's difficult to tell how many slices it is. It looks like 2, but it might be 3 with one hidden at the back. So I'm going to do 3 decent sized slices. Just going to try and cut them off about the same sort of size. I think that's about right. That's what, centimetre, 2 centimetres, something like that. There we go, got 3 fairly even slices of Spam. Spam was actually eaten quite a lot in the post-war period when things were pretty hard, rationing was still going on, and I think Spam became pretty popular because it's cheap, affordable, and it really doesn't taste too bad, to be honest. Let's see if we can bring it back into fashion. Right, before I do anything, I'm just going to toast off my burger bun. Right, that is nicely toasted, so I'm going to pop that off to one side. Then over a medium-high heat, I'm going to pop in my Spam, and I'm just going to let that fry on both sides until it gets a nice golden colour on it. Spam can be eaten hot or cold, but to be honest, it's nice just to fry it off. It kind of just brings out the flavour and it's just makes the texture a bit better for people who aren't a fan of Spam. During the first lockdown, I did actually want to do a recipe for Spam fritters, which are actually a little bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, but I never got round to it, but maybe I'll do that another day. Right, that's pretty nice on one side, so I'm going to flip these over and do the other side. Right, those are now nicely cooked on both sides, and then I'm just going to move those off to one side while I prep the Oreos. Right, now it's time for our Oreos, and if you don't know what an Oreo is, what planet have you been living on? But they are described as chocolate flavour sandwich biscuits with a vanilla flavour filling. Quite frankly, I don't think they taste anything like chocolate, but that's what it says. More like burnt chocolate if you ask me, but this is what we're using. So I don't know how many of these we need for our crumb, but I'm going to go in, I'm going to take 2, maybe 3. We'll start off with 2. I'm just going to chop them up into a crumb. There we go, I've chopped that into kind of different sized crumb pieces, some bigger bits, some smaller bits. To be honest, that's probably plenty. So there's not much left to do apart from to construct this mother. Okay, so I've got my burger bun here. I'm going to pop some mayonnaise on the bottom. It says it has mayonnaise in it. I don't know if it goes on the bottom, but I just kind of want it there so the spam doesn't slide around on the dry bottom. It's a sentence I didn't think I'd say today. I'm going to take my spam, place it on top like so, and let's put over the Oreo crumbs. This is one of the weirdest things I have done, and I've done a lot of weird things. Right, now I'm going in with some more mayonnaise on the top. So weird. Let's pop a lid on the top, like so. And there you have it, a Spam and Oreo burger. Okay, so there we have a Spam and Oreo burger. Not something I'd ever thought I'd say, but here we are. I'm not going to talk about this, I'm just going to try it to see if that's actually any good, because I'm so curious, I can't wait. So, that's, how do you eat this kind of thing? Who knows, who cares, let's go in. Cheers, I do this so you don't have to. Never thought I'd say it, but it kind of works. Kind of like it. Yeah, you get the Spam for sure, but it's not as like salty as it usually is. And then you get bits of the Oreo, but it's not like overpowering. You get some of that like kind of like burnt flavour of it, a little bit of sweetness, and the mayo just kind of balances it out. Bizarre. Can I try another bit? I actually like it. I got mayonnaise in my beard. But yeah, kind of like it. Didn't think I'd say that. Okay, so that's actually quite good. So I'm going to go off, go and finish this, and I'm going to have a think about how I can take this to the next level, because quite frankly, that is bizarre.
Moments later, more moments later.
Right, I had a break, I cogitated, I masticated. Stop it, it means eating. And I think I've come up with a way to perhaps take this a level up. So while I was eating that Spam and Oreo burger, it reminded me of another way of combining like porky savouriness with a sweet tang. And it made me think of a pulled pork sandwich, burger, whatever you like. Because you usually have the pulled pork with some nice spices and a sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, and that's kind of what it reminded me of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Spam and coat it in the Oreo crumb, deep fry it for a little bit, and then I'm going to serve it in a lovely brioche bun with some coleslaw and a homemade barbecue sauce, and let's see how it turns out. I think it will work, but maybe I'll just make it worse. Who knows? But I want to give it a try. I think it will work. So let's try and level up this Spam and Oreo burger. Right, first things first, I want to make my barbecue sauce. I made one of these recently on my vegan barbecue feast video, but I'm going to do it again in case you don't go back and watch that. So it's actually quite simple to make your own barbecue sauce. You start off with a base of like 250 grams worth of ketchup, because ketchup is a great base for a barbecue sauce. It's already got a load of flavours in it. Got sugars and bits and pieces like that. And we're just going to build on that. So I've got that over a medium heat. Just let it heat up for a moment. With that heated up, I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons worth of Worcestershire sauce, or Worcester sauce, or wherever you're from. If you're from America, Worcestershire sauce. So 2 tablespoons of that gives it a lovely umami flavour and gives it that colour that we associate with barbecue sauce. I want 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Either white wine vinegar or cider vinegar works best, I find. Then I'm adding in a tablespoon's worth of honey. You could also use maple syrup, but I have honey, so that's what I'm using. Also, 2 tablespoons worth of brown sugar, tablespoon's worth of hot sauce. I'm using sriracha, about half a tablespoon's worth of liquid smoke for that kind of authentic barbecue smoky flavour. If you don't have it, you don't have to use it. I like to add it because I do have it. And I'm going in with a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of cayenne, half a teaspoon of cumin. Right, I'm going to stir that all together, get it all well combined. Now this is just a really good base for a barbecue sauce, but you can build on it. If you want to add some Jack Daniels in there, you can for some Jack barbecue sauce, or you could use something else. You could add a bit of apple juice in there, pineapple juice, kind of mix your flavours up. It's just a really good base for a barbecue sauce. You can already see that coming together even darker than before. Now I'm just going to let this cook over a low heat for a few minutes just to cook out some of that raw flavour and just let those flavours all come together nicely. Right, after a good 4 or 5 minutes over the heat, that has all now come together quite nicely. It's got a nice darker colour on it as well. So I'm going to get that put to one side and then we can do coleslaw next. Right, for my coleslaw, I'm not going complicated or too fancy. I just want to make a nice homemade coleslaw. So I've got 1/4 of a small white cabbage here, which I've finely diced, not diced, just cut into strips. Same for half a carrot, which I've julienned. I say julienne, that's not really julienned. I've just cut it into strips again. And the same for half a red onion. That's a good base for a coleslaw. Just going to quickly mix those together a bit. So I'm just going to go in with probably about half a tablespoon worth of sugar and a teaspoon's worth of salt and the juice of half a lemon. Don't know why I said it like that, which I'm going to use my super duper lemon squeezer for. There we go. It's the best lemon juicer I've ever used. Look at that. And I'm going in with 2 to 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. I'm going with a really nice mayo that's made with extra virgin olive oil. So mix that all through with our veg. Don't want it drowning in mayo. So this is where our mayo is going to come in rather than just putting it directly on the burger. So there we go, that's our mayo. I'm going to pop that to one side and now we can focus on the Spam and Oreo part. Right, because I'm using the Oreos as a coating, I want them finer than I did for the topping of the previous incarnation of the Spam and Oreo burger. So I'm going to take these and pop them into this food processor here. If you don't have a food processor, you could just put them in a plastic bag and whack them with something heavy, whether it's a rolling pin, a book, a hammer, up to you. So I'm just going to blitz these up into a fine crumb. There we go. That is a lovely fine crumb of Oreos. I think that'll be enough. If not, I can always blitz up some more. I'm going with a similar amount of Spam as before. I'm going with 3 slices. I might make them a little bit thicker this time. Right, there we go. I've got 3 slightly thicker slices than before of Spam. So now I want to get these coated in our Oreo crumb. So I set myself up a little breading station, or Oreo station in this case. And because that egg isn't going to stick straight to that Spam, because the Spam is obviously quite slippery and slimy, lovely, I'm going to coat it in flour first. So I'm going to just season it in a little bit of flour first, which I've not seasoned with salt because quite frankly the Spam is already saucy. First of all, slice in flour, just to get that coated, kind of like you would making Spam fritters, which I'll do for another time. And then into the egg, which I've just beaten, and into the Oreo crumb. And I'm going to go back into the egg so we can double dip. Then repeat that for the other 2 pieces and keep one hand dirty and another hand clean. You might not be able to see against that poor choice of plate, but those are covered in a lovely, hopefully lovely, Oreo crumb. So I'm going to pop those to one side, clear this mess up, and we can get on with deep frying these. Right, it's now time to fry our Oreo coated Spam burgers. So I'm going to pop these into some vegetable oil at 190 degrees C, 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and just going to cook them for 3 or 4 minutes just because they don't need very long. They just need long enough to kind of make this outer coating nice and crispy because the Spam's already cooked. So into the oil they go, just to cook for 3 or 4 minutes. Just going to move them around just to make sure they don't stick to the basket. And when these are cooked, we can construct our Spam and Oreo burger, taking a level up. hopefully. Right, these have had about 5 minutes or so now, so I'm going to leave those just to kind of drip off the excess oil for a moment. I'm just going to transfer onto a paper towel to really get off all that excess oil. Kind of look like weird burnt Weetabix, but hopefully they'll taste better than that. Right, now it's time to construct my leveled up Oreo and Spam burger. So I've got myself a lovely brioche bun here, which I have toasted like I did the one earlier. I'll go over with some of that barbecue sauce on the bottom. I'm going to use 2 of these this time. I used 3 before, but they were a hell of a lot thinner. So just 2 of these this time. 2 of those weird Oreo Spam briquettes I've created. And then, this could be a stroke of genius or a stroke of madness. I'm going to put over a slice of cheese. This is Monterey Jack cheese. It's a lovely smooth and creamy cheese that goes really well in burgers. And then lastly, I'm going to top this off with some of my coleslaw. Not loads, don't want to overpower it. And on with the lid. Right, nothing else left to do now but to see if I've made this better or I've completely messed it up. Right, here we go. One, leveled up, question mark, Spam and Oreo burger, and I served it with some nice French fries because, quite frankly, if this is then at least I've got some French fries. There's no need to talk about it anymore. I'm just as curious as you are, if not more so, because this is my monstrosity. Let's see how it is. I'm hopeful that it might be nice. I've got my flavour pairings right, and it could work. But here we go. Let's give it a go. I tell you what, it's not as sweet as I thought it would be, because I think frying it in that oil has kind of taken some of the sweetness away from the Oreos, so it comes out quite nicely balanced. So you've got like that soft, salty Spam in the middle, then the Oreo crumb has a bit of that dark burnt flavour, but not in a bad way. So you've got a bit of the sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, a bit of freshness from the coleslaw, and that lovely sweet brioche bun. It's actually quite nice. It's actually turned out pretty well. You know, for a first try at that, that's not bad. That is actually quite nice. Brain's still trying to compute it, but it works, it does. Well, it shouldn't, but it does. So there you go, Spam and Oreo goes together. I might be able to take that even a step beyond. Might want to just add some stuff into the mixed up Oreos for the coating, but it's really not bad. So I didn't even need the consolation fries. So there you go. That's Spam and Oreo burgers done the McDonald's way and the McDonald's way. Please don't sue me. Anyway, I'm going to go off and get my head around this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it useful, fun, entertaining, whatever. I hope you enjoyed it at the very least. If you did, like it, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell to find out when more weird videos are going up. And yeah, Spam and Oreo. It's good. I will see you next time on Big Friendly Grub. Take care. Bye.